What up, YouTube? Welcome back to Wild Arms. It's been a while, hasn't it? In the last part, I completed the game. I said I was going to do some extra videos, but I guess I never really got around to doing it. I figured I'd stop and at least start off with at least one of them. So before that, though, I decided to take a trip back to the sealed library. Yeah, and shocker to me, it turns out that the sealed library actually holds some knowledge. Yeah, go figure. I never bothered to read these books because I don't know, there's so many of them. And I read a bunch of them, all of them, and they actually contain some interesting, lore to Filgaia. A little short things here and there. Some things are interesting, others are just little facts. I actually suggest maybe if you're interested in Wild Arms lore, it's kind of a small little minority there, and plus you probably just could get this stuff off the internet. Really, people have done it on Wiki and stuff for a quick thing. If you want to, you could read up a bunch of stuff though. It's pretty cool. I'll actually point out some ones that I find most interesting. These three you can just skip out right away. The first bookcase at the entrance you can just ignore, but this bookcase right here contains a bunch of interesting stuff. For instance, the Guardian of Desire, as we know as Lucide. Guardians, Ills, and humans fought together to protect Filgaia. Of the Guardians, the Guardian of Desire sided with the demons. The shadow of a black wolf, the Guardian of Desire disappeared with the demon race. Indicating that, 1,000 years ago it sided with, well, as we knew, Boomerang, apparently. From Boomerang alone, it sided with them. It's interesting. This one, the Lifeline of the Land. The life of Filgaia has been sustained by linking the weakened Guardians together through a pipeline called the Ray Line. This was the last-ditch effort of the weakened Guardians to support Filgaia to this day. If you recall, the Black Teardrop that Siegfried and them used, well, Mother used in a sense, to essentially weaken the Guardians' link, the Ray Line. That whole thing they did with the Ill Pyramid stuff to transmit anti-life was to weaken them so that they could get Kadingle up and running. Yeah, so apparently that's what the Ray Line is. I thought it was just a natural thing, but as it turns out, that was just, according to this, that was to, sort of maintain, what little power they had left from the weakening 1,000 years ago. And then we have the Demon's Heart here. Together, the humans and Ills were finally able to defeat the Demon Queen. The Queen's heart was forever sealed into 3 separate Guardian statues. And we know that all too well. And the bookcase right above it, we have Enigma of the Ills. The enigmatic Ill race, much of the Ill magic, was truly astonishing. They specialized in magic related to biology. One of their technologies converted life force to energy for transport to other locations. The Ill Pyramids, as we know them. The Guardian Blade. Of course, we know all about that as well. At the bloodiest point in the war, one Ill forged a sword of ultimate power. This sword had the ability to channel the Guardian's power through its blade. There is no record of the sword being used in battle, but it was about that time that the demons withdrew from the war. There is no doubt that the Guardian Blade was a major factor in the war, indicating that the Guardian Blade's massive, uncontrollable power, kind of like the atomic bomb, in a sense, for the Ills and stuff. I guess with that much power, the demons, and I guess it killed a bunch of demons and human stuff, they just figured, oh god, the humans and Ills have this power. It's oh, it seems kind of odd, though. I mean, is that really enough, though, to base that the war was ended specifically just from this huge turning point here? I guess we'll never know, but as it says, I mean, so, again, I reiterate, interesting. And the Ill Dimensions, of course. Soon after the war with the demon race, the Ills disappeared from Filgaia. They used what powers they had remaining and moved an island still teeming with life to another dimension. Their destination is known as the Ill Dimension. And we know all that, well, the 1,000-year-old, that floating island at the forest mound. Yeah, they took an entire, island, from that long ago to How they got this power, I have no idea. They always had it from, like, whatever guardian power they had left. I have no idea how, but, yeah, interesting. What else do we have here? I think, up the stairs from those bookcases and up to, like, the left somewhere, we have these little books here. The Body of the Demons. The cold, hard bodies of the demons are made of metal. Their metal bodies, however, have most of the same traits as a biological entity. The ancient mages of the art of alchemy studied captive demons to learn from their technology. This is how we came to create the golems. Now, see, it seems like humans were the ones writing all this lore, but by saying we, it's not, it might have been ancient human technology, but I think it was also mentioning, I believe we meant the ills. The ills created the golems, so it's like, parts of these may have been human, parts of these, maybe it was a conjoined thing, I have no idea. The demon invasion. The demon race has technology that allows them to travel across time and space. They have also developed a device that utilizes the technology to instantly transport troops to a faraway location. The demon's attacks seem to use this strategy. The Demon Gate, the thing that was used on Adelheid, and probably the thing that could have just won them everything, really. The emptiness of sand. The dead area called the Sand River, or the Sand Ocean. It's again, there's a bunch of mistranslations, so you might see some words here and there that don't make a lot of sense to you. Well, in this sense, it's called, they call it the Sand Ocean here, the Sand River. It was caused by a battle against the demon race 1,000 years ago. The massive destructive powers drained the life from the entire area. And there's one more bookcase I'll show you. Up here to the right, this bookcase, the New Moon. The other moon that floats above the night sky shines its dull light down on the surface of Filgaia. Some say it's the castle of the demons and is made of magic silver. We have no way of knowing now. That, of course, we know as Malduk. Now, what's interesting, though, they say it belonged to the demons. But it's funny because Siegfried up there said it was a human colony. I mean, the only thing I think of is what, it originally belonged to the demons, but the humans then took it and developed their own little colony there. Would explain, how the demons were, Siegfried was able to activate Malduk from, whatever years of inactivity. And you notice, magic silver, if you recall, that's the thing Siegfried used on Rudy's, little arm. How it couldn't be cut. Made of, the wire that he used was made of magic silver. So, I guess it was made from the same material as Malduk. Getting just a little sprinkle here and there. And really, the fact that all these books are here, though, I mean, again, you're only gonna get these if you've completed the game and, are vaguely interested in the lore of Wild Arms. I mean, again, most of the stuff you've probably seen, throughout our journey, but some things could, be a little sprinkle of info. I mean, again, it's to put them all here, though, I mean, it's a library, so, I mean, that's cool, too, but I suppose it would come off as a pretty big info dump to you, just to have it here. I just find that fascinating. You can check out the books for yourself, or, wiki it, whatever. I just wanted to show it off, because I could. But anyway, let's get on to something that's more interesting. How about we do something more fun? How about we show off all the guardians that we have, huh? With Cecilia, her Summon Guardian and High Guardian animations. So, let's cut. Live from the ancient arena, I give you the Guardians. Starting with our elementals of Earth, Water, and Fire. Yeah. So let's get their force built. And, surprised. I'll give you the force unit. And I'll give you your reflex, I guess. And, yeah. So let's cut until you guys have your forces up. And we are set. Summon Guardian. We will save the High Guardians for later. So first up, Mogult, the Fire one. You're pretty standard summoning, whatever. Stoldark, our very first Guardian. The one who led the innocent one, Cecilia, on her quest. Well, the one we saved and then led, you know. And then Gurdjieff, the Earth Dragon. Him and Molgult, you know, were the ones who were testing us at the Guardian Shrine. Next up, we have Wind, Thunder, Summit. First, we have our little Summit guy. You remember from Mount Zenum, the first Guardian statue to get destroyed by the Guardians. Nuashax. On Captain Bartholomew's ship, if you recall, Lady Harkin destroyed that one. And Fengallan. Fengallan is actually the wind tiger from the Guardian Shrine. Flash Ruin from, if you recall, the desert near the ship graveyard. You know, the Pleasing Gardens. The Death Ruin from the place we got the Crystal Bud from. And the Trine Ruin from that Whirlpool, the Dragon Shrine. Oh yeah, the Death Ruin was, you know, the optional ruin we could have missed. Lucadia. Bit of a longer animation there, but you know. Girantus, the Death Ruin. Instant death sometimes, sometimes not. Yeah, I figured. Stero. I don't even know what that thing. It's a I guess it's a beetle. The Saint Ruin from the horrible incident that Alazad befell on Saint Centaur. Heaven's Ruin, one of those little deserted islands that we got it from. And the Ice Ruin, again, deserted island. Arusulado, the Ice Ruin. This goat. Salado used powder snow. It's somewhat effective. Heaven's Ruin. Oh, and he's dead. And here's the Saint Ruin. You know, Eon Power against bad news. He's got a bit more HP, so we should be good. The Chrono Ruin, the one that brought back Elmina. The Star Ruin, the guardian that fell from the stars. He was located in the Photosphere crash site. And the Sword Ruin, the one that gave Garrett his, you know, Cosmic Nova. Equitus. Rigdobright. His lore is actually found in the sealed library, believe it or not. Apparently a guardian was chasing down the tail of a star, and I guess years later he just like crashed down with that star at the photosphere. Well, actually the photosphere is a star, and this is... I like this one. If you hear the comedic sound effects there... I love that one because of the comedic sound effects they have. Yeah, that's the Chrono Ruin, the space one. Or I think it was, yeah, it was a space. I think it's time, was it, or space? Yeah, I love that one. Hey, you know what? Let's see that one again. So let's see the Chrono one one more time. Dandarum. I have no idea why they did that. It's a little funny. Little bit. The Castle Ruin, thanks to Bill the Engineer with his ancient tool who rebuilt Zelduk's statue. Life Ruin, and of course the Hades Ruin, the two guardians that were meant to help give Rudy back his left arm. Ooh. Durstrum. Sorry about that. I should redo that one. There's the life one. Basically, it's just a heal one. Of course, the life ruin is a lot better. And this is Zelduk's Castle Ruin. All he does is boost our defenses. So, you know. Defense power, just by 25% though, so not all that much. Alright, now let's see Durastrum. There you go. And, of course, last but not least, the Hope Ruin, the Courage Ruin, and the Love Ruin. The 3 Lord Guardians, each on their respective people. But not yet. Alright. Raftina. Justine. And finally, Zephyr. Oh wow. Wow, that's perfect. That's perfect. And now it is time to show off the High Guardian forms of each of the Guardians with Cecilia. Starting up is the Fire Ruin. Mogults. Oh, nice. Used Brave Bird. Up next is Water, Stoldark. So far, still the same animation. Oh, sweet, he used Rapid Spin. Up next we have Gurdajef. It used Draco Meteor. Wind Guardian. Oh wow, that was impressive. Very good, Fingal. I'm sorry I didn't use you all that much. Thunder! It used Volt Tackle. Denogenes, the Summit. That was kind of lame. Flash Ruin. Lame again. Okay, Stereo's High Guardian actually like 5,000, whereas the other ones did 3,000. But now it's time for the High Guardian Death Ruin. I remember this one looking pretty cool. I think it's just to increase the chances of death, probably. Still, kind of interesting. The Trident. Yeah, it's kind of odd they had 2 Water Guardians, really. I guess Lucadia just hits harder than Stoldark would. All this is just a change in angle, and I guess the Spire increased a bit more. So sad. The Heaven Ruin. I believe we've seen this one. Just a little raining upward of rainbow strikes, whatever. Ice! Oh! Used Ice Beam! I guess. Or some ultimate ice attack. I can't really think of anything, but, you know, whatever. So I'm afraid Hydra was on 3-hit whatever was got killed by Iceman. So we're taking on Riversider, and we're going to show off the High Guardian, Dandaram. Our Kronos friend, our Cat Guardian. Whoa! Yeah, he hits hard, as you can see. Most comedic, and yeah, hits the hardest with his High Guardian. Stars. Oh! Hyper Beam! Eh, not that hyper. Would've been hyper if it lasted longer. Excalibur. Or Excalibur. And that's it. Castle Walls. Just a little force glow. 50% by half. Okay. High shield can do that. But to everybody. I believe we've seen this one too as well. Maybe it was this one that we saw, not Heavens. I forget. Anyway. Flashy explosion. The Guardian of Life. If I recall, the Guardian of Life combined with Chrono brought Elmina back to life. Just an extra healing thing, I guess. Well, this is it. Time for the 3 Lord Guardians. First up, Justine. Jax. Garrett's. Multicolored, energy expansions, explosions, whatever. It's Earth-based, so I guess it heals him. Justine. Hope. So if we call his regular attack Mega Flare, then what should we call this one? Skydive Scorcher? I thought he was going to shoot a breath at me. An energy blast. And of course, last but not least, the one you've seen the most often. The one that Cecilia herself broke out of its statue. Raftina. And for a bit of extra flavor, how about double trump cards at full health? Wow, that thing has a lot of defense even when I'm this high leveled. I used a bunch of high shields, so he hasn't been able to do enough. I've reduced his damage to 0. So he still survived. Well, Garrett finished him off, and let's collect our bounty. A duplicator, 3 nectars, and a full Libra. And with that, all the Guardians have been shown. Unfortunately, except for Lucide. Lucide actually has this really cool one that she uses against us in Alter Code F. It's a pretty cool attack. You should check it out. But with that, yeah, we've done it. So, we return. Maybe I'll try and find something else that's kind of interesting to show off. So, until then, see ya, guys. I'm out.